Forget everything you've heard about Scarlett Johansson. Because the real story? It's darker, more shocking, and more inspiring than Hollywood ever let you see. A girl who delivered Oscar-worthy performances, but Hollywood didn't nominate her for Best Actress. They nominated her for Best Lip Lock. She threw a 200-pound stuntman to the ground with her bare hands, but what made headlines? How low her zipper was. To the industry, she was just another pretty face on a poster. But beneath the surface, a warrior fighting a battle no one saw. This is the story of a woman who came to Hollywood to act, but instead, they sold her body. Until one franchise saw what everyone else missed. This is the story of Scarlett Johansson. And trust me, you don't even know the half of it. The year was 1992. An 8-year-old girl walked through the doors of the Lee Strasberg Theatre Institute, dreams burning in her chest, determination in every step. That girl, Scarlett Ingrid Johansson, the same institute that forged legends like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And now, this little girl had come to walk the path they carved. But don't let her age fool you. Scarlett wasn't just talented, she was possessed by her craft. Her emotions didn't leak from her nose like amateur actors. They erupted from her eyes with a rawness that couldn't be taught. When she delivered a monologue, 30-year-old students stopped mid-breath. Grown men and women sat frozen, watching a child command the room like a seasoned veteran. This wasn't just training. This was where Scarlett absorbed discipline, depth, and drama. Embedding it so deep into her bones, it became instinct. But here's what no one told that 8-year-old girl. Then auditions began, and suddenly, her greatest weapon became her biggest curse. Her voice deep, husky, soulful, unforgettable. But casting directors, they recoiled. She doesn't sound like a cute girl. Too mature. Not what we're looking for. For Scarlett, auditions became a war of attrition. Rejection after rejection. Tears in the bathroom, then back at it the next day. But she refused to break. How long could Hollywood keep ignoring raw talent staring them in the face? Then came 1994. At just 9 years old, she landed her first on-screen role. North, playing Laura Nelson. Her screen time? Mere seconds. But the way she owned that camera, you'd swear she'd been doing this for a decade. After North, the floodgates cracked open. Just Cause, If Lucy Fell, Manny and Lowe, Home Alone 3. Supporting roles, sure, but each one left a mark. Her sarcastic sister act in Home Alone 3, instantly relatable. Audiences didn't just see her, they felt her. But Hollywood still wasn't ready to give her what she deserved. Finally, in 1998, everything shifted. The Horse Whisperer. Scarlett played a girl emotionally shattered, furious at herself, at the world, at God himself. Her eyes didn't just show grief, they bled it. Audiences didn't just watch her pain, they lived it. Tears streamed down faces in darkened theaters. This wasn't acting anymore. This was something deeper, something real. After that, she didn't slow down. She kept pushing, kept proving she was more than just another child star who'd fade away. But then, something sinister started happening. Hollywood's obsession begins. As Scarlett matured, Hollywood's gaze changed, and not in the way she hoped. By the late 90s, critics hailed her as one of America's most promising young actresses. She believed better scripts would follow meaningful roles, complex characters, and they did come. But here's the twisted part. Hollywood stopped seeing her talent. They cropped it out of frame. Instead, they zoomed in on her body, blurred her acting into the background, reduced a powerhouse performer to a poster on a teenage boy's wall. And the worst part? She had no idea how bad it was about to get. Then came her first mature performance, Lost in Translation, a quiet, haunting story about loneliness, connection, and identity. Critics were stunned. She deserves an Oscar nomination. But here's what Hollywood did. Her introduction scene didn't show her face. It showed her underwear. That single moment that became her image. Not her vulnerability, not her depth, her body. A formula was born. Dress Scarlett in something revealing. Shoot a slow-motion close-up. Call it art. In Match Point, she was the seductive mistress. In The Island, a futuristic beauty. In The Black Dahlia, a tragic woman whose pain was sexualized. The pattern wasn't subtle, it was calculated. It peaked in Under the Skin, 2013. She played an alien seducing and devouring men, a film about gender, power, and vulnerability. But what did audiences talk about? Not the symbolism, not the commentary. Scarlett went nude. Then came Don John, a sharp satire about fantasy and objectification. The media ignored the message entirely and nominated her for Best Lip Lock at the MTV Awards. Next was Lucy, where she played a super-intelligent action lead. She showed range, she showed power, but the marketing? Hot badass. Even Scarlett felt the weight crushing her. I was being groomed to be the bombshell type of actor, she said. The industry was preparing me to be a hypersexualized young woman, but she was about to do something Hollywood never expected. Then came 2009. One phone call flipped her entire trajectory. You've been shortlisted for Iron Man 2. The role of Natasha Romanoff was originally promised to Emily Blunt, but scheduling conflicts opened a door. Scarlett seized it. She demolished herself in training hand-to-hand combat, weapons, stunts, crushed the audition, and landed the role that would change everything. She believed this was her moment to break free, to finally be seen as more than a body, but Hollywood had other plans. Remember Tony Stark's line? "I want one." That single throwaway joke reduced her again to an object. Scarlett later admitted, "It felt like I was selling a male fantasy instead of telling a story." But here's where she made her stand. In The Avengers, 2012, she silenced every doubt. She wasn't just part of the team, she became its emotional core. With every film, Natasha Romanoff deepened. Winter Soldier, a ghost seeking redemption, haunted by her blood-soaked past. Age of Ultron scars torn open, her trauma weaponized against her. Civil War caught between loyalty and morality, choosing the harder path. Infinity War, a commander holding the broken pieces together. Endgame, the ultimate sacrifice, giving everything for the Soul Stone. The internet didn't just call it heroism, they called it legendary. Scarlett transformed Black Widow from a tight-suit fantasy into the beating heart of the Avengers, but even after all that, Marvel still owed her a debt. After a decade of fighting for it, she finally got her solo film, Black Widow. But when it dropped in 2021, everything exploded. Scarlett sued Disney. Her contract was crystal clear, theatrical release only. Her pay? Tied to box office performance. Disney betrayed that. They dumped it on Disney Plus Premier Access without warning her. Theaters went empty. Streams went up. Scarlett lost millions. She sued for breach of contract. Disney fired back, calling her selfish during a pandemic. Her response was ice cold. Contracts don't pause because the world does. September 2021 confidential settlement reached. Scarlett was done with Natasha Romanoff. "I've given my heart, body, and mind to this character. Now it's time to move on." People expected her to chase more blockbusters. She chose something far more powerful. In Marriage Story, 2019, she played a mother escaping a crumbling marriage. No stunts, no glamour, just raw emotion. In Jojo Rabbit, a German mother secretly resisting Hitler, no action scenes, just quiet courage and devastating love. And now, she's roaring back in Jurassic World Rebirth, returning to the legendary jungles of Isla Sorna. Hollywood saw her as eye candy. Marvel forged her into a warrior. Now, Jurassic World will cement her as a legend. So, what do you think? Will Jurassic World Rebirth finally give Scarlett Johansson the legacy she's been fighting for? After years of being objectified and underestimated, maybe this is her moment to reclaim the narrative. Because in Hollywood, survival isn't about beauty, it's about endurance. Tell us what you think in the comments. Was Scarlett's journey a victory? Or just another reminder of how fame uses people until they fight back? Your thoughts could shape our next story. If this film's story made you feel something: pride, anger, hope, stay with us. Subscribe and join a community that looks past glamour to uncover truth. Every week, we explore how legends are built and what it costs to become one. Before you go, there's one story that mirrors Scarlett's in a haunting way. A woman loved by millions, destroyed by the same spotlight that made her famous. Click on the end screen to watch How Princess Diana Was Killed. It's not just a tragedy, it's a warning about the price of perfection.